Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Mughals. Next target, Junagar. Main objective, Girnar, because that's where the fort is. And no one will stop us this time. You're the one with the siege skill. You're up. And stay back. If they try to retreat, go after them. They're holding still. Go back a little. We're not expecting any more uprisings anytime soon, but I believe it'll be safe. Because the Ming Empire troops, or the vast majority of them, are over there. Don't expect them to come here. So I believe it's safe to drill. You better have a lot of money in there. Yes, Red War of Ming, but that started by our ally Yarkhan. And I'm not terribly worried about any of these. I'm not interested in participating in that conflict. There's no breach in these walls, but surprisingly we're getting them down pretty fast. They tell us of Bohemian crystal. The centuries Venetian glass has dominated the glass-making sector, with smaller glass-making enterprises trying to faithfully imitate the masters of Murano Island. Bohemia has been a glass-making region since the 12th century, but by combining the native chalk with potash and a new method of the Bohemian glassmakers are now finally able to challenge the Venetian glass. The new strand of Bohemian crystal is both more durable, brilliant, and distinctly different in its style from the Venetian glass. Bohemian crystal chandeliers, glass jewelry, and engraved glass are rapidly becoming a common sight in all the courts of Europe. Get ready to move. Still no. This area's fallen. Come in. Ran right into them. So, Regency for Babur ends next December. Yes, Babur. Which is, you know, the same name as the founder of the historical Mughal Empire. The only difference is, you know, Uzbek and all that. And you're gonna take out their ship too. There goes them. War's over. Are you sure? I mean, you are beaten. Wait till February. Okay, there you go. That's what I was waiting for. Your land is mine. And give me all the money that you have. And that is it. Guess all that land ownership goes to me. They're all below 50% influence. Coromor. At least they're less developed territories, so That won't be a problem. Like to see you try. So they pulling back a little. Position here and begin drilling from there. And when Babur grows up, he'll be assigned to one of the armies to begin drilling as well. Keeping this fort here for the time being. And with all that newfound money that we just earned, let us invest in universities to some more key areas. Of areas that I want to develop the most. Like Dhaka, because we want to make this area a world port. There's no autonomy here. So compare and contrast. Bengal Delta, 39.2 trading power. There's 6.4. Well, why is that? Nearby. Ganges is steady. Well, actually the real question is the trade power. With autonomy, no. Actually, with lowering that autonomy all the way, so I guess Bengal Delta wins out here. Oh, honestly, I would rather build it in Dhaka because that's the, you know, the modern capital of Bangladesh. This one's got cloth. This has got silk. Ah, the silk. That's why. Okay, you win. You get to have the university. For a reduction of local development cost when that centralization effort is finished. Alright, you win out here. And there'll be a university here in Central Doab. Remember, you need 5 universities for the objective. This is going to be the 3rd one here. I'm only thinking of the more key areas. One in Ajmer, because local development because of Ajmer Suba. Now, how about in this area here? The province trade power, 25.6, 26. Honestly, when that autonomy gets lowered, with that trade power, I believe university should be built here. Make room for a textile manufacturer here. That's what I see. Now, what about in other places? 2.6, 23.6, 22. What about Kabul? I know it's not one of the most developed areas, but we could build a marketplace here just to add more trade power, knowing that Bukhara is trying to catch up. So, university here as well. That's it. Don't spend it anymore. You're supposed to build 5, but 6, good enough. But that's at least in key areas that I care about. And don't worry about that war over in China. Careful who you ally with next time. And if I was to integrate another vassal, it'll be that one. another less developed area, but it's got a textile manufacturing. Legalism or mysticism? I mean, we're already going towards, you know, that way now. Which the Ulema loyalty will be going up, but not their influence. Have we ever achieved religious unity here? So it's good. So support the hardliners. So we're starting to go more towards that way. Plus it gets the national tax modifier up and reduces the technology cost that we're trying to get. Just to make up for not embracing one of the institutions, which is the printing press, which is yet to be present. Well, it's finally present in Herat, but that's not good enough. Actually, printing press is present. It's global trade that's not. Even though we've already embraced it here, but not all. Don't worry about that. Loyal subjects. It is well known that our subjects are some of the most content and loyal in the world. To drive a wedge between us and them is thankfully virtually impossible. As such, it does reflect well on our nation. Annexation costs reduced. Well, I honestly, like, I kind of want to integrate another. It would be that, and then Sind would be next. Which is a big one. That may take a little longer. Because we need more of that, a bit of that coastline. So I can build a navy. Which we have not really invested in the navy yet. We're still technically a land empire. Fortunately, with Vijayanagar bankrupt, who can stop us? Oh, and also they're in debt for a while, and cruel. But if they get some money back, then that's a bit problematic. But remember, our truce with them, Malwa, will expire in 4 years. I was thinking of that, but we need to get this sooner, so they should be exploited. It's a trade depot. That adds more local trade power. More trade range, too. We need more of that. So yes, the nature of things has changed. Okay, remember, we gotta start appealing to your lemma for the coming future. So whatever they want, give it to them. A new textile manufacturer. In Darajat. 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 Over here, where the fort is. And yeah, not only their loyalty will be appreciated, but, I mean, it's not going to increase their influence because you just got to wait for those modifiers to go away with this whole, Jains recognized as theists and respected Rajput Hinduism. They'll be expired by 3 years' time. I mean, the Brahmins are fine. It's the ulema that needs some more influence. Even if I have to give them more land. Which, even if I were to sell the titles, the ulema are not going to get it. If I had a little more land to myself, then I would be willing. Plus these other two, not interested, so it is. And there's barely any room for that. You got it. It'll be done in years. It'll be done in 5 years' time. Just make your fortunes. It's them. You're the one without an army. Move up. Let him drill. So, Babur will be leading this army, as he's about to turn 15 soon. Finally. And so when he takes over, the max will be lowered a bit. But at least these two will improve. Here it comes. House of Lodi. Mumtaz. Another spouse named Mumtaz. It's Lodi, so we can't know for certain if this is, you know, if they are related at all. Shah Alam. That's the heir's name. Similar skill. 353. Alright in my book. Especially diplomatic. Assign myself. As everybody's drilling, I have 3 fire, 4 shock, 2 maneuver, no siege. Get to work. You already had an exceptional year, now we got this again. What do you mean I already had? That was years ago. And Babur is a tactical genius. Land leader maneuver up. Chase him. One would think, yeah, I'm intervening in this conflict. And what? It's almost like I'm seeking for glory. Got it. It'll be easier to core the rest of the remaining areas that's yet to be taken. So there you have it. We'll be keeping Guinea for the time being as a fort. Until autonomy is lowered and all that. I always go for this, but let me see. Legitimacy is not a problem. Tolerance of the true faith. You know, I thought about it. Does it matter to the dilemma about regarding true faith tolerance? It does not say. No, doesn't say so. For the tax. Now we're starting to make big fortunes, and a good portion of that is due to going more towards legalism again. It's almost like we reintroduced the jizya tax. Hey! There's a Ming army over here. Head that way. Our petty Shah Begum Mumtaz has oppressed many men and women to court with sharp-witted and extensive knowledge of the natural world. She has long been a collector of tomes on botany and chemistry. She corresponds with several of our generation's brightest minds. Currently, one of these scientists are visiting our court as per our invitation. They can be found discusses all sorts of new theories far into the wee hours of the night. She's asked us to make the scientist helpers, claiming that she would make a much better advice than our treasurer that we currently employ. Are you sure? 3. 3, but cheaper. I mean, after all, he is getting old. But it's for production efficiency. Fair enough. Or alternatively, get more administrative power. Which are still quite far away. You know, bring him in. That's the one. Let's see. Yeah, it'll do. Every little bit helps. Always happens. Because we're still an Afghan dynasty. We never became Hindavi, which is what the Mughal dynasty, you know, later became. It wasn't until Akbar that became more Indianized and became more of an Indian empire than a foreign conquering empire that came down to the subcontinent. Yeah. These are all towns at once, but they're all expensive. But no, let's just make a lot more money here. Way more now. Since we don't have advisors that are really expensive upkeep. Not to mention all that autonomy going down. As well as the subsequent, you know, reduction of the... Oh, it's starting to go away now. And anytime we want, we can start a golden era. Which I will implement a golden era when this mission is complete. If we can get the loyalty up for both of them and the influence, especially the lemmas. Influence. What it needs. Come on, you say you're the tactical genius. Telling myself that. We'll catch him. Let's see what I can do. Didn't pick up a leadership trait, but well done. I guess we'll go up there. And that's not going to be good for the supplies. Decisive victory. You made some inroads there. Thank you very much. Now head down here in preparation for the Malwa conflict. Stop moving. Get down here. Still up there. I can see. Circulation of hostile publications. When printing was a novelty, it first attracted those who would create codices as great works of art, or philanthropists who wanted to spread the knowledge of the classics in a more accessible format. Soon, however, others joined in their ranks. Less scrupulous men who would make a living slandering others. Ever since printing started to mature as a business, presses from all over Europe have been available for demagogos to spin their webs of lies. Piles of pamphlets ready to lie ready to be distributed to anyone who will believe them to speak. In Herat, in particular, this otherwise so promising technology has been put to use as a means to spread vicious slanders about our Padishah and undermine the state. This cannot be tolerated. Like it or not, we cannot control the free word. We need more support for the printing press. You can't say no to something like this. That's just how it is. You can't say no to that. $55 to fabricate one more claim, then we'll have all of Gujarat with ease. And start drilling. You got 2 years. Truce expires in August, which means stop drilling in April. If I want to build a navy, I should invest in shipyards first. Because I'll tell you what. Okay, this has a ship. Okay. They have a shipyard. This one doesn't. These have shipyards too. Some of which cannot be constructed on. This war that we'll be fighting in the future, that'll be the last war to go without a navy. Because we'll be dealing with countries like that and this one. Oh, it's Jharkhand again. Pull back. You're the one pulling security here. If Malacca joins again... Well, not now. What the hell happened to them? In depth, lack of manpower. Hormuz, of course, would be there. And if we had a navy, this wouldn't be a problem anymore. And their navy isn't even that big. So shipyards first. And then we'll build a navy. Has to be light ships first. And then build heavy ships. No galleys, despite the fact that these coastal areas, say galleys will perform a little better. No galleys, just light and heavy ships. No transports at all, because we're mainly a land empire, not an overseas empire. Shoot! If I paid attention, I could have fabricated that one last claim. Which would have been for that, but oh well. We'll take care of that. But in the meantime, you're the next one to be integrated. Because our country's starting to become strong enough where we don't have to rely on our vassals. And freeing up relations more. Her Majesty the Padishah Begum is of course a constant companion and a good advisor in her own right. However, apart from that role of Padishah Begum is also represented the crown to the Lodi house and vice versa. Her Lodi house, not my Lodi house. At times not arrangement without benefits. Today Mumtaz seems very pleased to announce that her family decided to show its support for the throne and for the union of Babu and Mumtaz. Hey, this is just what we need. Yep, this is just exactly what this country needs. This is the one. Davi Sunni. Manpower modifier up. Much cheaper than this one. There you go. Yeah, it's starting to barely go away. It's about to occur very soon. And you know, since we're hell-bent on sticking with legalism, we should do these. Move towards legalism. Enforce religious unity. And adopt the title of Caliph. That'll show them. Because you want to reduce that technology cost and make a little more money out of that. Because we need this to get there faster. And plus, even before the war, we will have new infantry and new artillery. One of our good ones. Doesn't hurt to get another general, but we can have 4 leaders of upkeep, but we have 3. Really? No fire, no shock, but you do have maneuverability and siege skill. Come the heck on. What kind of army are we? It's the blind leading the dumb. This is why we're the army of quantity, not quality. Quality is still in the works. And subjective. In fact, stop drilling. Stop. There's about to be a Gujarati uprising here. Where are we on the Great Powers? Rank 4. But here's your issue. Indian Sultanate. We do have a royal marriage. Also, 1629 is the year that these modifiers that kept the influence of the dilemma down will finally start going up again, even though they lack territory. Get them. Cheap iron. Well, not just iron, but the most expensive part of the cannon is the metal. A recent glut in the market has made the metal price cheap for the time being. You should take advantage of this. If you want to create another army, but there's no need for that. Alright, new types of cannons. Replacing chambered demi-cannon to leather cannon. Get the best of both worlds. The leather cannon was first used by the armies of the king, Gustavus Adolphus of Sweden during the Third Polish-Swedish War. European artillery at this time was too large and heavy to be mobile on the battlefield, and was only really used during sieges. The introduction of lighter and mobile cannon enabled the Swedes to maneuver their artillery to meet the movements of their army, movements of the enemy, and gave them a distinct tactical advantage over their foes. Unfortunately, the lighter cannon used by the Swedes had a particular weakness which made it highly impractical, consisting of a narrower copper tube but covered in leather strapping and rope. Its wrapping caused the cannon to overheat dangerously during continuous use. Nevertheless, the leather cannon marked the beginning of the development of light field artillery and the concept of taking heavy firepower to the enemy. Now, Deccan musket infantry or North Indian. Ours was the Akbar musketeers, and now we're getting replaced with something stronger. But I think I know what I'm going to go for, because since we're on the offense here. North Indian musket infantry. The less prestigious infantry arm would commonly attract third or fourth sons of poor, whereby Rajput families in the northern countryside, deserted Afghan clansmen, Jat farmers, and other groups of poor prospects. Unable to afford horses, these groups would adopt the use of firearms as a cheaper way to succeed in the battlefield. While they were given little formal training, these self-educated musketmen would eventually make up the core of the more modern Northern Indian Army, as their use of firearms and eventually more modern European infantry tactics allow them to increasingly make a difference on the battlefields of India. So, new infantry type, and you better hope there's not a Gujarati uprising coming our way. Otherwise, our cavalry's going to do the work. Morale up. Right over there. Halt! Can we just... No, we can't wait. There's no influence. You're gonna have separatism in your way. Popular religion. There's always been some discrepancy between the religion actually taught and defended by the ulama and the actual faith of the people in the provinces. Most of the time, the differences are small enough that the ulama chooses to ignore them instead of focus on reinforcing the more orthodox spiritual ideas of the people. You should hold your position, as I did some thinking while reading. It seems, however, that certain ideas are quite unorthodox, if rooted in the old traditions, have begun to spread together with the Sunni faith among our non-Sunni subjects. The resulting mix of old heathen ideas, popular superstitions, and the actual Sunni itself isn't quite too much for the ulama to the stomach, even if it seems to have made conversion a much more attractive proposition for our heathen subjects. Attempt to root out this syncretism. The ulama will be loyal to us again, and will remain loyal. The Brahmins will be loyal too, and the ulama will be much more influential now. That's a start. Now things are going to start going your way now. As we said, we're going to start appealing to you. Now, return to your position. You will begin your march next month. Move on. Attack here. 10 years of separatism. The infantry did not have the morale because they acquired newer weapons that they weren't trained with as they had before. Their influence is now 41. Okay, good. Things are starting to go away now. See what I mean? Now get back to your post. And drill what little you can. Who went bankrupt? Ajam. You're still behind the time. You gotta level up again. I can't level up diplomatic ideas as much as I like to unless I level that up first. State religion not dominant here. Well aware. What else I could do for you to get your influence up a little more? Well, this for starters. It'd give you no land, but administrative advisor costs reduced. It gave them clerical ministers and oversight. So it's possible we'll go for this when the time is right. And I could say the same for the Brahmins by giving them this privilege. As soon as the textile manufactory is complete. And will be complete during the course of this war. Which hopefully should not take long. Remember, August. Next August. And you must stop drilling at April. And that includes you guys too. Maybe. Just to keep them at bay. Speaking of bay, it's about damn time that we start investing in the Navy, once and for all. We can only have up to 47 ships. Just build it all over. We don't have the heavy ships, but that's in the making. Now keep in mind, some areas don't even have shipyards. Unless you give them a university. See the difference in days? So that's 9 ships for starters. So here's what I have an idea. The first 20 will be frigates. And the next, at least dozen, will have galleons. And in peacetime, we will use the frigates to increase trade power to either Bengal or Gujarat. Ideally Gujarat. Whatever has more trade value. It's obviously that one, but until we control more of Gujarat ourselves, then we will have much fortune among us. You're gonna be integrated too. You're next. Shouldn't take long. In fact, it may take long because that modifier has not gone away. But it will be next year, so it'll increase its speed. Just do it. You've outlived your usefulness. And after that, you're next. We're starting to become self-reliant and we don't need vassals anymore. Unless you're doing something that would be absolutely necessary. Since we have the Bahmanis as friends. But to be fair, I don't have all claimants. Their army is located here. In fact, that's all their army. Position yourself here a little bit. I know they have a small navy, but when we control more of the coast of at least 2 provinces, that's about it. Plus Sindh. We'll have a little more naval force limit. Even though they say of all the entire military branches of the Mughal Empire, the navy was their weakest. Not again! Close, actually. We may have unbalanced research again, but Great Mosque, another requirement for this. And also, it's got to have a courthouse and a town hall. Courthouse, town hall. Did I say courthouse? Courthouse! Well, since you built the university there, we can encourage the development of that area in a bit. Now it's starting to become present here. So it's starting to catch up. So I guess you might want to start saving up money. Thanks to the taxation. Stop drilling! Just realize that's the month of April. Garthi here. Janagarthi down there. Marathas down there. Vishnupura. For the time being. We should develop right now. Get it up to 30. So we can build a courthouse there. My goodness. That lack of manpower is troubling. Even though we do have training fields, but it's not giving us enough of that manpower locally. Of its efficiency. But for the time being. There. Courthouse here. That reduces state maintenance. Province governing costs go down as well. Didn't want to spend it too much, because we're trying to level this up. And also bearing in mind, when I integrate Sin, I'll be inheriting their light ships as well. When that time comes in future. Ships are being built. But do not leave the port. Because if you try to leave, they're going to catch you. Because by the time hostilities begin on that very month, you're going to get caught out there. Now the real question is, who's coming? Damn it, I suspected that. Alright, stop drilling. Stop, stop, stop. As far as, alright, who's volunteering to go? It'll be you two. Position yourself at Chittagong. You'll pull back to take care of the separatists. Because you're all gonna have to go down to Malacca again. They don't have much of an army, and they won't put up much resistance, so it'll be easier to get down there. And be sure to save up all that money to embrace the printing press finally. Alright, here it is. What is the objective? Main objective? Naturally, Ahmedabad. The capital of Gujarat as it is today. Capital of Gujarat state, I should say. You'll be dealing with that, and we'll be coming in to siege all of these. Engage. You got this one. And you have these. We'll engage here and take over this area. And then the capital fort, and then they're out of the war. And then we'll eventually deal with Hormuz in a bit. And subsequently, his army's coming down to Malacca. Which is going to take their sweet time to march down here. Yeah. There's your problem. But I guess we all can wait. They're gonna survive that onslaught. Not for long. Army eliminated. Yeah, they got us blockaded, but these new ships we just constructed, they won't be able to leave. But you did say you want 20 of these light ships? Well, keep building. Wherever available. Just build 2. There you go, 20 light ships. They'll be ready next year. And until hostilities conclude, we'll be sending them out to protect trade as one fleet. And then we'll start investing in heavy ships. Now we can go. Together. And we'll meet with them shortly. You'll be pulling security back here. They're in Girnar. Of course. Girnar. Don't move from your area, because you're gonna have some trouble back here. Take them out. We'll meet with them shortly. No leadership trait for me yet? Just chase. Grant export licenses. Instead of paying cash to the nobles, another option is to grant them privileges to collect special revenues, for example, from foreign trade, from which they can make a healthy profit. A proposal has recently reached the Padishah's ears to grant several noble families export licenses for our trade with the Bahmani Sultanate. Doing so would please them greatly, but the commercial classes may view the matter less favorably. Of course. Grant them privileges. Tax income boost for 20 years. Do so. Even if Jains won't like it. But the Mansabdars will have a loyalty. Which means land maintenance. Great income. Got him. I'll deal with the separatists. What did I tell you? You've done your part. Get Kutch. We took the capital. They've been dealt with. So are the separatists. Quick. You'll be heading over there so they don't cause much trouble. Cathedral. Also known as Great Mosque for our perspective. It's about to be finished and this is going to be the first Great Mosque here. Yep, we're dealing with pockets of the resistance that we just meet up. So we're on our way down to Malacca to knock them out of the war. Make it easier for us. Already ahead. Hey! This way. Eliminate their army. Battlefield medic. Good on you. The generals that I assigned you to combat, none of you know how to use siege. God dang it. You're the more numerous of the bunch. Go down this way. Good thing we sent the Rajputs that way. Take care of the countryside while you get the forts. There they are. Move up. They're causing trouble. We feared what Hormuz was up to, but there are not much of them out there. Struggle for world power ends. Weight of the king is supreme. It's over in the Commonwealth. No, 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 no. You start up there. Stop. Hold your position. These areas first. Got it? Yeah, you stay back. I'll stay back. Because Maratha separatists. That's why. Here's your loyalty. About dang time. Yeah, Lemma wants another textile manufacturer. I mean, look. It increases their loyalty, not their influence. But I need their loyalty. Give us an admiral. Because, you know, we're investing in the Navy. They want more manpower for us, but more manufactories, it's fine and all. But making them very loyal to us would help it. But unfortunately, you have very little land. But I'll be willing to give you more influence when the time is right. Unless events happened, that's another way. But simply for the sake of it, build another manufactory in Sarax. Again, you've controlled so big, you tend to forget which is where. Up there? Well, there is room. Build a manufactory and a workshop, and you got things running. As long as nobody occupies it to delay the progress. Gotcha. Yeah, we took more casualties than usual. Part of that is due to our own recklessness. Head to their capital. Because this place will soon fall. Or we're just taking these areas as a way of, you know. Yeah, we'll catch them here. You're surrounded. Take an area, now help them out. Take their capital and we'll knock them out of the war. Well, we're just gonna stay ourselves here so they don't go anywhere. Just to keep up the pressure. And take that area back. Good God. There was 55. There it is. No wonder why they couldn't intervene anymore. Shut up. Talking about my cell phone. Singapore. Oh, that's where Singapore is. Mission complete. Grand Trunk Road. The devastation finally went away. The Bengal part finally recovered. So we will gain some mercantilism, and renovated Grand Trunk Road adds more trade power in Doab, Bengal, and Lahore. So now you need at least one center trade of level 3. which that is doable. Because, so they chose Bengal Delta. That's where it's going to be. So, the Ganges Delta has been a focal point for trade and commerce for thousands of years. Here, Eastern traders market their wares to the Indian public, while goods from all over northern India can flow in the other direction. The recent arrival of Western traders have, if anything, further accentuated this dynamic, and trade cities have begun to spring up all over the Delta. We must further encourage this development and foster the growth of a major entrepot in Bengal under our supervision. See, I was thinking about Dhaka, but no, they say Bengal Delta all along. Encourage that development. It doesn't cost much. We built a university here. So, there you have it. The only thing that's hindering is that the land is tropical. But who's that going to stop us? Well, we can't upgrade it right now. Wait until the war's over. Got it. Remember, don't want any land from you. Just money. Guys, we're going to be investing heavily. Navy, world port, everything. Next year, they'll be integrated, and Sindh will be next. Next country to be integrated. A less aggressive way to expand, you know? Should be exploited again. Plus some of that diplomatic power is going to be used for taking lands that we have claims to. Legitimate claims. There, we got our territory back. Return. Where's our absolutism levels at? Not very much. Barely without the global trade on your end. Right, taking the area. Let's take 2 more provinces and then they'll be out of the war. In fact, they're practically out of it now. We just want to siege these 2 little areas. You know, looting foreign cities and all. No need for that. Go back. Let's begin our march home. Just go loot 1 more city, then we'll be back here. Simple as that. Form up. And then when it's over, you gotta sail on over here and form up. We'll catch up with you later. That's what we were waiting for. That's it, you're out of this one. Don't want territory, and don't want to pillage. just reparations and give me as much money as you got. And hopefully don't have to fight you ever again. Again, your march home. But you, Hormuz, you want out? They say no. Okay, then. You could play that game. The waiting game. Because listen, I want all of these territories, which we do have the score for that, but not quite. And still no coalition will be formed against us. That's too little to me. And costs very little diplomatic power. And of course, save up your administrative power for the time being. Military divided. Opposing factions of the military are advocating different tactics. We need to back one of them to end the bickering. Well, I'm a tactical genius, so I say the Padishah favors defense. Which kind of contradicts what they were trying to say here, but here's the difference. 10 years? 15 years. Want to quit now? Because we could just sit here and do nothing but for you to stay there and you don't send your armies anywhere or try to take any fancy long ways. Unless someone else declares war against you. Then I'd be fine. Or the alternative is just stall for time. Yeah, we have no choice, but we have to stall for time. Hurry the hell up. Who went bankrupt? Vijayanagar went bankrupt again. Integration complete. Ah, you were with us. There's no need for that. Plus, this area of Jaipur and Bangladesh were already states. I mean, the war's practically over. It's just, well, this again. Wait, Alright. First time, Mumtaz watched Babur sparring with his soldiers in training. Who's over there, by the way. She was impressed. It's not every nobleman that would enjoy the manual labor of actually learning how to wield a weapon of his own. But Padishah Babur is not any man, she thought, before approaching her husband to compliment his skills. She even mustered the courage to ask his opinion on the current military situation of the empire. Intrigued by this mutual interest into the military aspects of Mughals, the Padishah has gained a lot of new ideas for his army. 80% chance that we'll gain 100 military power, or may gain skill. Got the military power. Yeah, he actually got the skill. We didn't pick it up. He actually improved himself. But hey, great general. And also, what's that personality from Mumtazli? Inspiring leader. Ah, so that's why you've been interested in military matters. One would think. Almost there. And we're gonna get what we want. Although we will not have any much of money out of this, but I'd rather have Hormuz quit out first. And then we can get to talking on Malwa. Let's have a look here again. It's gonna go down bit by bit, but as long as we have it occupied, they will continue that war exhaustion going up for them. Every owned province gains 50 support of printing press. This is gonna have quite a bit of unrest the next 15 years, but I don't care. We need that printing press spread. So there you go, big support. At the most. We'll see. Not quite. Unfortunately. So yeah, we're just gonna stall for time and get the white piece out of almost. What? Hey, now that you're back, deal with it. I know I can afford this. Cavalry combat ability up. Then we can start to get to work on the naval related stuff before we'll finally eventually get to discipline, but I have not increased it by getting more ideas because of this being behind. It needs to get, as it were. That's what it needs. And it's good that I'm making all that money, and one would think I should be spending on something, but I have not. Very tempting. I could have had this, but we've already taken care of the devastation thing over in Bengal. More absolutism would give us more bonuses. Max is 44 for now. Let administrative efficiency increase. Foreign core duration just to get it up faster. I'll tell you what. Absolute government first. Next time, efficient autonomy. Finally expired. Oh, we'll soon complete another conquest. Okay, 2 more months and they'll be ready to quit. Just white peace out there. We get nothing out of them. After we've been staying here. And we'll get what we want. All the land, all the money. They even have printing press as well there. One of the greatest and richest men in the Mughal Empire, Abdul Nasser Nagar, has died without an heir. A well-respected trader who built his fortune from the cotton trade, he was a well-known patron of religion and arts. Now in death, he bequeathed all his wealth to the state. Really? Give me that instead. I mean, the money is fine. Use them as it would have. Philosopher. Would that be administrative? Yeah, it's him. I was expecting on this end. You know, what the hell aren't you using that money for? You should use that for, I'm thinking. Diplomatic reputation helps with the integration, so go for that and upgrade him. No? Gujarati. Oh, don't worry about it. There'll be an assimilated culture too, the Gujaratis. And then, we'll promote them. It's taking them so long. Not here for territory. Do you want white peace? Or who wants? Because the length of war is starting to go down further and further. National Bank pays dividends. Several shrewd loans led to very good profits at our National Bank. The bank is hiking its dividend and buying back some of its shares. We're in for the money. We still get the money! Just like they offered us earlier. It was a well worth an investment. And the Rajputs, a series of struggles brought about by feuding kin groups has weakened Rajput influence in Mughals. Unable or unwilling to devote their full attention to Mughal political or military affairs, their influence, of course, very much suffered. Although there goes their influence. How do you want out? Are you ready? Okay, one more month. Just one more damn month. Here it is. And I hope I don't ever get to fight you again. Withdraw. Okay, one day later. All the money that you have. Unreasonable demands? You're the one that's going to be annexed here. There's no more you. You hear me? We demand all this land. There's no more Malwa, no more you. Well, wait 1 month. Okay. Take less coin then. There. You are utterly defeated. Now you can't increase it anymore. Okay, fair enough. Plus, we're already very rich anyhow, so... And no coalition. Again, despite what it says, it will not be formed ever. No one's going to stand up against the Mughals. Ever. For all of these. And now these ships can finally set sail. Head to the Mid-Gold Delta. And with that, we have secured the Hajj ports. So we get even more dockets. And ports of Gujarat for 30 years, increasing the trade range, goods produced modifier. We'll have a permanent claim on the Khandesh, Ahmednagar, and Bara areas. which means those areas. Bara. Oh, over here. That's Bara. That's Amannagar. Khandesh here. We have Khandesh. It's just these two. So that means we will have to go down to South India. Next place to expand. Meaning we have to betray our somewhat competent ally. Although we can definitely defeat him within minutes. It's an exaggeration. Or alternatively, go up to Assam. You have a claim there. Which you only get permanent claims, but this has a reward that's well worth it. And you also get a temporary claim on Sakatra, Adan, and Mukh. These areas. If that's what they're pointing out here. Didn't say areas, but provinces. I don't know what for, other than you won't be controlling that part of the trade. I mean, after all, you're the one who's investing in a navy. Yes, it's temporary. If you feel like it. But who would be dealing with them? If in a hypothetical war you would be going up against them, which... Well, you're gonna need transport ships for this. Even though your navy's rather inferior. That's why we have to start integrating the coastal province areas. In fact, let's make that work. Integrate the coastal areas that you can that your vassals have control, and then you will have what you want. Rajasthani people are integrated, Gujarati people, the Saurashtra people as well. Yeah, I do have a conquest cash spell against all of them. Oh yeah, we missed you there. Screw you. Too sweet. Yeah, that overextension is going to hurt our income for once. And some parts of the printing press are present, but not quite because they're not cored yet. But saying that, since it's a bit present. Every little bit helps, you know. Now, all you need is, our free trade policies are forcing our merchants to become more innovative. One in particular looks like he could become a great man. Need to find a job for him. That's this man here. Well, I may have hired you, but that's for the diplomatic reputation. And you are much cheaper. But for more trade efficiency if you wish to. But I've already made up my mind. All ships are present. Great. As far as naval force limit's concerned, well, you got a lot more now. I think just in case you do need 20 transport ships. So start with one here. It's for starters. And when that ship's complete, build 19 more. Begin integration. Sirhind gets new madrasa. Sirhind. Boy, that area is still Hindu. The land where we used to come from at the beginning. So it'll be done by a couple of years until that modifier expires. That's why I brought him here. And I do need a little more diplomatic power. Again, just to get this. And we're not going to have galleys in our navy. And since I'm more interested about expanding towards the Deccan, which is just mostly land, some more developed than others, and it's part of that Deccan trade node. Control that, and then... Boy, I wish I had more merchants. That's why I thought about trade ideas, but I think it would be better if you go for humanist, trade, whatever that's going to be the last. What I have in mind. And of course, what else I do have in mind is try to get the printing press in this country. Watch your mouth. Like to fight these small wars again. Strange to be seeing you in our presence. Well, since everybody's home, start drilling. You need to get that army professionalism up. Without that, then what is our army like anyhow? Great mosque. Turning scholars. Till another year. Particularly in the aftermath of the Mongol conquest in the 13th century, Egypt and Syria emerged as the foremost centers of scholarly learning in the Muslim world. Sunni scholars of every persuasion flocked to Damascus and Cairo to learn from the most renowned teachers of science, theology, and above law, while Shiites traveled to Jabal Amud in Lebanon to meet with the scholars of the Orthodox Twelver Shiism. Many students from our lands, having completed their educational pilgrimage, are now returning home, hoping to implement their legalistic Islam in our empire, just as they learned it from the heartlands of Islam. That would make a welcome addition to our country. Here it is. You're almost there to where you're supposed to be. And then if we can embrace the printing press, we'll get it much faster. And then I'll start caring more about ideas. Just only if we had this. Innovative ideas for more idea reduction but stability up. Again, building transport fleet just in case to send it to there If I really care about controlling trade power over there. It's just an idea. Can't guarantee it. But it's for just in case. And when these cores are complete, especially these two coastal areas. Ah, the Zoroastrian. Bring him here. No rush. No need to promote him. Give him 19. It's gonna take him plenty of years. Have at it. What the hell are you doing? Okay, where to? Again, it adds some trade power, but it's not gonna help a lot. Well, we dominate all these areas. Do we? Deccan is land. Coromandel. We only have 4. It's Vijayanagar, obviously. What does Goa belong to? Damn. No states to be formed. You got what you got. This has a shipyard. This does not. You got a shipyard? You do. I'm willing to invest. Every coastal province must have a shipyard. You do not. Let me help you with that. Don't have that either. Because you know I will be integrating you two countries. There. All done. Now get to work. We make a bit of profit out of that, but that's changing our trade value, even though we have no merchant there. Send it to Gujarat, simply for the sake of it. And if I really cared to go to Socotra and a few other areas inland, probably make them territories, not states. It's just an idea. I mean, I'd be willing to expand down to southern India. I mean, eventually I really want to defeat Vijayanagars. They become a thorn in our side. But you gotta go through the Bahmanis first. But before I do, get some money off of you. We should end our alliance with them. No royal marriage. And I don't care if you two fight each other at this point. We've made up our mind of what our future is going to be. It's present, but not enough. But integrating Sindh, which will happen eventually, this would definitely help it. Sure. Waiting for this to be finished. Among some, our nobles have been increasingly fashionable, spent time on experimentation and philosophy. Some begin to form regular discussion groups, while others use letters to correspond with other inquisitive minds. One such group is contacted on Petty Shah, asking for patronage support, and insists that such endorsement will bring great benefits to the Empire in the future. Innovativeness is always nice. indefinite. This is for 15 years. Hurts the tax modifier a little bit. But we get a lot of administrative power anyhow, so... yeah, just this once. There we go. That's for the Brahmins' loyalty, which I kind of need that, but improve relations with the Great Horde. That's them. What's left of them? Sure. Because I'm only appealing to Brahmins and Ulema only. Okay, if you say so. We don't see each other eye to eye, but we're fellow Muslims. If we like each other well enough, maybe we'll have a royal marriage to improve relations further. But again, Brahmins say get it up to 100. I may even send you money. If you're in debt. They have no debt. Okay. Just checking. So remember, all you need is the loyalty and the influence. Which is going to be a struggle. Unless I give them privileges that would help them out both. And that's the only practical possibility. You've got their loyalty, they're with you. But we need to get them to be loyal to us once we complete this task. Unless events occur. Doing some more thinking in my head. Heavy ships. Again, still in progress. Actually, hold that thought. You know, when you level these up, you're gonna get the new ship types. How old are you, man? Oh my goodness. Again, it's over 5,000 is what you need typically to embrace an institution. I just need that diplomatic power leveled up faster. Midas touched for Babur. Whatever income that you were just spending, well then, you're gonna make even more. Plus you were investing in something that hurts the national tax modifier a bit. Perhaps we are living in the golden age and we just didn't even know it. This year looks to be such a prosperous year that several of Padishah's advisors suggest that as a gesture of goodwill, he should celebrate by arranging various festivities for the locals. Such nonsense. Wasting money like that. So that's where? Over here. Not a very developed area. But again, I'm tempted to give the Brahmins and the Ulema privileges. There you go. Improving relations further. But don't expect me to ally with you. I'm doing this for the Brahmins. There you go. Now the Brahmins are nearly loyal. They'll be up there soon. Unless I've gone back towards mysticism. Because that loyalty thing, it's going down because of the amount of legalism I went over there. That's why we were able to wrench ourselves. But again, if you want them to have more influence, go for a Brahmin council. And, so maybe that too. As much as we'd like to have the influence. But it's still a Hindu majority country. Where it's not so much on that end. Whereas the dilemma we can handle. I have enough percentage to give land rights to whomever. Because, you know, they need land, they need influence, that's how it works. Giving them this, and this should be enough, so. In other words, I might be asking for things to give away. Because this is my, you know, one of my major goals of this series. Is to move our capital there. I've attempted to move capital about a century earlier. But, all you need is that. And then immediately you will have the other one because you already have the Mansabdar's loyalty that they're still loyal now. At least for now. And the stability is up. It is an empire. You have everything. Yes, you have everything. Okay. I just did some thinking. And I know what I'm going to decide, and I'm going to regret this. Because they need those influence. I'm going to be giving all these privileges to them. A Brahmin council. Which again, establishing a council of Brahmins to govern their own affairs will doubtless increase their acquiescence in the Padishah's other decisions. And also be guaranteed Brahmin autonomy. They are held in high regard by their Hindu subjects, granting them greater autonomy to effectively secure their support for the empire to ensure that our differences do not erupt into a religious strife. And also that means we can't convert anymore, but the local religious unity contribution reduced. So we're going to try to get them to be more loyal to us this way. And finally, Brahmin land rights. Performing the spiritual and worldly duties of the Hindu priest caste does not come cheap. The Brahmins will be able to fulfill their role far better with more land at their disposal. So that gave away some of that land. As much as I would like to have that back. But that's only if they're all loyal again. Now as for the ulema, we'll have a clerical advisory council. The key role of the ulema is to advise the Padishah. Formalizing this arrangement would ease the process and allow their wisdom to better serve the empire. Though it would also grant them limited access to the ear of the Padishah. More loyalty, more influence. See that? 60 influence of Brahmins, that's needed. Just hang on. Let me see it jump up. The 6 influence. Listen, you already got the loyalty of the ulema. But you need their influence, so we have to give them land rights as well. If they cannot support themselves from the land they were granted, the ulema will unable to perform their spiritual duties. Yes, that means I'm giving away more crown land. It's going to put me in giving me negative modifiers. But it's enough to have it up to 6%, just like the Brahmins. See what happens? That hurts. What happens when you give away too much privileges to somebody? There's the influence. Now all we need is the Brahmins to come to our side. But we need to go for more towards mysticism. But I believe there are ways. One is to dissolve alliance with the Vamanis, knowing that we'll be fighting them in the future as we have claims to this area now. Even though they're Shia, but... Are there any other Sunni countries out there? Yes. Bukhara, up there. Yarkand, too. 33, 16%. Even though we have no claims against them, we got nothing against them. Unless for some ungodly reason you decide to, you know. For starters, yes. Blockading many ports. Well, we sort of had with the Navy. That one's landlocked. That one's also landlocked. Attacking Khorasan. But attacking Bukhara would be a challenge in itself. And aggressive expansion is not much, but that stability would drop big time, but mysticism will start going that way if you were to do that. If you can try to get them to be more loyal or wait for events to occur that favors the Brahmins and less of the ulema, then maybe we have a chance. And stop improving relation to them. Just maybe we have a chance. And I'll be sure to get some of that crownland back to me. If I'm willing to revoke the privileges out of some of them. No. We're through. And you have the prestige. It's the legalism is the issue. Although they say you can only get some of that land back. Like get the crownlands gained by seizing land from estates developing provinces. You can do that. Conquering land when less than 60 total influence. When having less than 60, okay. And when having high absolutism, which I do not have, because that absolutism dropped significantly, because we gave them too many privileges. I wouldn't mind developing. All you need to do is to wait for some events that would benefit the Brahmins and not much of the dilemma. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will end that episode here. Because in the next episode, hopefully we will move our capital from Delhi to Fatehpur Sikri. So we're kind of taking a break, slightly. We're slightly taking a break from conquering any territories. As well as, you know, getting ahead on the technology again. Which we will in the future. So all you need to do is just hope for a miracle. You're getting a lot of tax modified despite the loss of Crownland that you gave away. I mean, of course, the easiest thing in the world is just sell the titles, but you'll be losing 10% of your crownland. You're not going to get that back. Even if you were to take it, you only seize 5% of the estate. That'd be each. 5% each. So, hold on. Sell 10%. That's like 5%. It's like giving them to these two here. But taking it back would be... I see. Well then, I think I figured it out. So, hope you tune into the next episode. Plans are changing. For the better. For the Mughal Empire. We hope so. But until then, so long for now.